And what did they decide to nuke? Yeah, a couple Tech 3. There's an Omni here, which is kind of nice. Maybe once Kagita wins this battle, he can clear all that. But I think this is a much bigger target. Power here, all that power isn't really that big a deal. As we're seeing air fight, I think it'll be critical for Kurtalis to win this. I think he had a slight numbers advantage. As I hear more SCUs dying. I'm not sure what the speed was for these flares. If I'm going -2, this game was probably quite slow at this point. Currently I'm at 4.8 gigahertz. And my RAM is at about 2200 megahertz. Eventually, once I get my new motherboard, which should be in about a week, I should have a Haswell with some much faster RAM as well. Which for this game, actually, that's one thing I will make, is I will look at the speed of RAM and how it affects this. So I'll go from, say, 2000 megahertz to 3000 megahertz. See how much of an effect it has. Maybe it has a pretty big one. I do hope that it does. As we're seeing a frigate push, Pachirica could be in trouble. What does he have in his base? Producing a lot of SCUs, a lot of build capacity as well. He still has a very, very good looking build capacity for Navy. This would be a great target for some strats. And one thing about Zock's assault, his cruiser force has been very good, and he's been leading with these shields, where the cruisers are always behind, applying pressure. Gunship. So once again, submarines, the submarine force from Gala has been absolute gold. Those are probably some fresh ones, but they've been definitely a big nuisance. Zock is claiming that they have no air, but I think air in this game has actually been fairly even. Zock sitting, a nuclear launcher of his own. Another SCU dies, I'm not sure what that one was. And a massive torpedo bomber force now from Kurtalis. Kurtalis on 130, oh my god, okay, so to do that math in one pass, what can these do? It's about 100 times 1,000. 100,000 damage. 100,000 damages, basically. You can kill 2 battleships in one pass. As the air fight continues, and it does appear that the micro for Postal has been slightly better in this one. Maybe it's because Kurtalis is busy doing so many different things. But one thing is, and now Postal flying. This is a big lost opportunity. This could have been completely killed if Kurtalis followed. I will attempt to not forget to put APM numbers for this game at the end of this video. The cruisers for Zock have been extremely good. That torpedo bomber assault has been very impressive. Gala, one thing we don't want to forget about Gala, he is sitting on double base, so his eco is huge, and he does have a lot of build capacity, so it will be difficult to knock him off this position. Although, if Tiep and Zock had so many battleships a little while ago, let's see. Tiep is down to 8 battleships. Meanwhile, Zock is at 15, so it's been about constant. As Pachirico, yeah, it looks like Pachirico has stopped this progress. Hasn't really moved from this position. However, the harms continue to be pushed up ahead. Let's actually check out Pachirico versus Kagita, 89,000 reclaim. Kagita at 130,000. Zoc now up to 200,000. We're in the Paragon territory now. Postal only 23,000, not surprising. 534 or 37,000 power. Interestingly, TF has the most power for a side as mid flare. Gala at 120,000, so Gala versus Zoc, fairly similar numbers. As it once again seems Postal has been staying in this air fight, even though he did get nuked, which is very impressive. TF 88,000 reclaimed with a huge power production, even though he did get nuked a little bit, but second nuke I think was a bit disappointing. I think nuking Zoc's naval production would have been the better call. And the one thing about Zoc's base, yeah, I guess he does have an anti-nuke right there, but this is not all protected. A rather massive fight. 82,000 reclaimed for Kurtalis. Very high for a back player. So SCUs. Yeah, now these battleships, they're in range of... Yeah, they're getting in range of Gala's production, and once you get that much damage per second around your production, you can lose it fairly quickly. And the stream of Riptides continues to move in, together with the floating Arty. That's where a battlecruiser or two here is critical, but I think there used to be some battlecruisers here, which are no longer there. There are two here. 127 kills, 106. These are critical for stopping this force, but they are being outranged by the battleships. Strange to see a fight with no Aeon, because usually we would see Tempests at this point, together with some missile ships. And the Cybern was doing pretty good early on for Gala, but at this stage I don't think it's really helping too much. More torpedo bombers for Kurtalis, as well as Tech 2 gunships. There is no Tech 2 floating flag here from Tiep, which I think is a missed opportunity. Some T2 flag would be very nice. Also interesting to see that we don't see any restorers. As the battle continues in the top ocean, it almost seems like a pushback from Puerto Rico. But I think these players are going to have their naval production in the same spot here shortly, as the Mexicans celebrate their World Cup
Strategic launch detected.
World Cup team by working their ass off, mowing the lawn outside and pissing me off. But that tells you something about people. Even during the World Cup, when their team plays, they're still working their ass off. Yeah, if I had to choose my favorite team from the World Cup, it is definitely Mexico. However, that whole tournament for a long time has, just like the Olympics, pretty much corrupted to no end. Looks like that nuke. This could be a good looking nuke. Although, yeah, it's going all the way to the island. And was this one from Zoc? Yep. Yeah, I think Zoc needs to get his island nuke as retribution. There is a nuke that's nearly done. And Scathis being readied by Kurtalis. That might be an anticipation of Gala losing his position. Massive scout coming in from Postal. Yeah, and Kurtalis is in dire need of reclaim. This is where Tiep and Zoc, if they are able to kill off Gala's base, they're going to get a huge amount of reclaim, and they can turn that into something very juicy, like a Paragon or something. We are seeing satellites from Zoc, or perhaps a Maver that I will try not to miss. Oh man, teleport protection. And That's farming. See here, both back players farming very hard. And Tiep, that's one great thing about having Tiep on your side. I think he's really helped Zoc, and he's had a huge economy. Kagita will go straight back to Tech 3, although I don't know if it makes sense to go to Tech 3 here unless you have huge build capacity, given that there are no wrecks there. So you might as well just go Tech 1 and just upgrade everything. Tech 2, Tech 3. Maybe a little more clicking. But unless you have so much build capacity, you make those Tech 3s like instantly. There is no mass being produced right now from all those. Yeah, I think now Zoc is in range of all this production, which will, yeah, and the battle cruisers are gone, so the stream of Tech 1, Tech 2 will go directly into Gala's production. Gala has SCUs of his own, so he's got a massive harms field planned. And how long will it take to get that Scathis? Already about a quarter of the way there, and a fatty has been constructed in the middle by Gala. That's an interesting move. If we can shut down all this production, this would be nice because there are a bunch of very important factories. Also an Omni here. At least I've seen it before. There it is. But that's a lot of flak that's being produced, which if you can shut that down would definitely be good. Yeah, and this counter assault, it's really a question battle cruiser versus battleship mixture. But it does look like the number of battleships for Puerto Rico is very low. He's really relying on a massive spam of riptides, which will do very well until there are a whole bunch of battle cruisers on the front lines. Battle cruisers together with frigates. Yeah, and Zoc making, perhaps this is the final push that he needs to make. No empty space on this map. Oh man, and the air. We're looking at 253 for Critalis Postal. 276. Postal has really, I think, yeah, this situation that he's built up has really made this nuke really not such a big deal. And also I think the fact that TF had so much power. Fatty kind of forced into the water, didn't really do too much damage. Fatty won't do very well against multiple battleships, and this is where Tiep is now going to start helping Kagita. You don't want to start helping Kagita too early. You want to make sure Gala is dead. Gala is definitely screwed here, but perhaps that Scathis can do something about it. Because if Gala can successfully defend, and with this many harms, it makes you have hope. And there are a lot of support commanders in the water. And if suddenly all the shields die, and but wow, this is a lot of cruisers. UEF cruiser really showing its worth. And one thing to wonder: do those missiles ever hit the ASF? I know battleships shells can. And Gala's anti-nuke could be in trouble here. I think eventually it will be from the battleships, but good defense from the Tecumfidisi. His Riptides ran into the teleport protection. Critalis thinking about a nuke. Actually, a nuke right there, I think, could be a good idea. As a satellite now from Puerto Rico. Yeah, that Omni is a primary target.
Strategic launch detected.
Not sure where that's gonna go, but what we're seeing here is that the middle will likely die. And the spam of floating arty together with the riptides are going to stop the progress of Kagita. Yeah, he's really getting pushed back now. And the thing about floating stuff, it does not get affected by harms. Yep, this nuke is going to kill some SCUs. Yeah, there goes that SCU. Some friendly fire. But it did force Zoc to move around a little bit. He's kind of splitting up his forces. Postal has too much ASF. Is he at the unit limit? He is at the unit limit. He's got too many Tech 1 engineers. And does this, yeah, they got a unit cap sharing. So Gala with double base has a little more unit. But is that going to be shared among, yeah, among all the different players? Tech 2 gunships from Critalis. Yeah, this has been a very tough battle. But I think the top side are getting the best of this one. And you can't really win air here, given, see how much anti-air there is. 37 cruisers. And if we were to actually look at what damage cruiser does against air. So each one of these UEF cruisers 500 damage, and if you got 40 of them, you got 20,000 damage against your ASF per second. And that's somewhere you want to fly if you're Critalis. But the best cruiser is the Seraphim at 813 DPS. The worst one is actually AEF Cybern 530, Aeon 750 DPS. And actually, the aircraft carriers are surprisingly low. However, they have significant range advantage. As so yet another satellite, looks like a second satellite coming in from Puerto Rico. As Kagita really getting pushed back, he needs more battle cruisers. I think he still has the numbers on Navy, but he has given up a lot of reclaim. And the massive air fight starts in a pretty good place for the bottom side. Postal looking at about 350. Critalis 250, but that's a little later. Yeah, I think Postal's gonna win it no matter what. It's yes, a side effect of having to build all those other units. Postal has really been 100% air. And well, now there are also some anti-nukes and nukes as well. And winning air here for the top side simultaneously with winning Navy is a very big blow. As we're seeing the Scathis, and this has started firing. Let's check out the range on this thing. It's definitely got all these units in range. The Harm's taken a very long time to die. And looking at the production for Zoc, he has not stopped producing. And his ACU here is in a fairly dangerous position. If it gets nuked, it might get stuck. Also, some strat bombing snipes are possible. Postal's ACU still has RAS, no nano. It's a little more secure, it's harder to bomb that. And it's a bunch of SCUs for Puerto Rico. Not sure where his ACU is. Oh, he's right there with a shield. Making more, and Puerto Rico loves to make satellites here. I guess if there's no A on here, so this should be fairly secure. And now it's a massacre. Yeah, that lag must have been pretty bad. Scathis. Oh, second Scathis. Wow, that was a very quick built Scathis from Gala. Guess if you don't have to make Navy anymore. However, this base, which is producing all these units, I think is going to die soon. SCUs from TIEP on a reclamation mission. There's a lot of available mass, and how quickly they're going to establish a base. And some spider bots now from Gala. And does appear, oh, those satellites being very annoying, killing Tech 3 power and Kurtalis space. Postal's beginning to catch up in terms of power. And what's the damage per second on a Scathis? Scathis DPS about 1600. Has huge range over 300, so it can outrange battleships, basically anything. Except Tech 3 Arty and T4 Arty. That's a lot of satellites now from Pachirico. And together they're already making an impact. But you don't want to lose your, what is this? That's from Postal. Postal with, that's an overcharge ACU. This ACU has an overcharge on it. What else does it have? It has rapid fab and overcharge. It's creating all kinds of problems. And so far these Scathis, 79 kills, 24 kills. They are doing damage, but they are not enough to stop this massive assault. TIEP fully engaged to help Pachirico. Also we got some Perseus in the middle. I don't really see an anti-nuke here anymore. I think at some point there was one here, but oh, here it is. 3 anti-nukes. Not sure why it doesn't show up like this. Maybe not. Well, yep. Battle cruisers, huge amounts of kills. Just don't want to get so close where the floating arty can shoot you. Kurtalis in the pond. This is just a huge base. Got no anti-nukes loaded. So, multiple nuclear launchers. And Maver. I did not miss the Maver. Kagita working on Maver, which will really affect his ability to produce Navy. He's got 822 mass income, but he's stalling hard. He's at 190,000 mass reclaimed. And Strat bombers coming in. Those are probably going to target either Gala or a Scathis or something else. I'm not quite sure what they targeted, but then nothing died. Very strange. As Gala's base slowly disappearing, Zoc sitting on 2,700,000 mass reclaimed. And Kurtalis, oh, that's a T4 nuke. Kurtalis with his ACU has transported, but his laser isn't working. Finally begins to work. But I think Kurtalis is going to die. It's too much Tech 1 PD, but he did take out that T4 nuke. So Kurtalis has given up, but he has given over his base to Gala. So Gala will now be able to work with that. He did stop the production of the T4 nuke, which was about a third of the way done, which is something, which might allow the Smaver to be produced first. It still remains a 4 versus 2 game, and there it's a 2 versus 4 base game. Meanwhile, these Scathai, I think, are getting some kills. I'm not sure if they're getting enough kills with what appears to be total air domination by Postal, who is now making more strats. So with the cover of this massive cruiser force, any kind of strat assaults on Gala's new base are going to be very effective. Satellites zeroing in on the Maver, more shields being put up. We can see now the Navy from Kagita has been extremely strong. So even two versus one, they're still able to put up a good fight. A nuke from Gala. There's also a nuke loaded for Zoc. It's a very secure area here with the double anti-nuke. This here isn't very secure, but I guess killing that now wouldn't make too much difference. But if this nuke hits, it will take out quite a few cruisers. Strat bombers bombing at will. Scathai retreating. They want to stay out of range of the cruisers. It's fairly effective, but these strats need to be stopped because they can come in and start killing. The only real way back here, minute 57, is that Maver. If it's completed, what would be a good target? I'm not sure. There are so many good units. There are not really any super units. There used to be one, which is now dead. It is going to be started again. I guess killing anti-nukes is one thing that you could do with a Maver. I think killing an ACU might be a little too difficult. At the same time, you will want to do something fairly quickly. It looks like a Maver has died, and yeah, there's bad things that have happened in this base. I think some strats may have done this.
Strategic launch detected.
And a nuke, yeah, that looks like an anti-nuke was taken out, and now this very valuable chunk of real estate is going to be nuked. This is where Gala's ACU is, right? He's got some SCUs here, a lot of power production. He's going to try to grab all this mass as quick as possible, run away with the Scathus. Nuke is coming from far away. And yeah, this is where this position is actually very secure. To bomb from this position, you have to fly over a lot of Tech 3AA, and as long as you hold on to Navy, flying in from the top is quite difficult. So as long as Kagita holds on to Navy, that Maver should be fairly secure. The problem, of course, is this, which is about to get nuked. Then there's also an anti-nuke right here, but it's far away from that Navy. And look out, Gala here, 62,000 production. Oh. Who shot the nuke? I didn't think there was an anti-nuke. Oh, I guess this one, perhaps? Oh, yes, it was this one. Yeah, he should have nuked right there, but he nuked a little too close. That's a big missed opportunity. Strat bombers over... Oh. That's sad. Oh, there goes an anti-nuke. Is there another anti-nuke standing by? Yeah. So total air domination has led to some big losses. It was a good assault simultaneously with the nuke, definitely through me. And a megalith for Gala. Anything coming from the middle? Doesn't appear to be the case. Zoc sitting on a lot of strat bombers. Yeah, that can probably end somebody's day. Wonder what is the bug. Looks like Maver is going to be reclaimed. This anti-nuke isn't loaded. And Gala is going to go ahead and build another Maver. As we're seeing a large group of Tech 2 gunships, which will want to avoid getting close to those cruisers. They'll also want to avoid getting hit by any of those bomber shells. 141 kills on the Scathus. Massive scout from Gala. Gala is one player who does love teleports, so something to keep in mind. I wonder what the bug was. Kagita should explain himself, because I'm blind. Strats coming in 2 groups from Zoc, plus some strats from Postal. Big air cover from Postal as well. So things are gonna die here. Looks like Scathis is one target. That anti-nuke would be another great target. They're targeting Gala's ACU. Yeah, Gala's dead. Alright, so Kagita's all alone. 1 hour game. I was really hoping for a comeback here, but oh, I guess it's not to be. Another Maver that was well on its way. So yeah, Hawk died first. Very tough naval battles that Kagita played pretty well. Yeah, on the top was pretty much even, but Tiep together with Zoc were able to win. Kurtalis played very well with his air, but actually he never won air. He did a lot of other things like build harms and reclaim and nuke. I thought that nuke was enough to really allow him to win air, but this entire game Kurtalis was forced into making quite a bit of other units besides ASF, things like torpedo bombers. At one point he had that massive 130 torpedo bomber wave to try to save Gala, but perhaps it's one of these situations where you just gotta let Gala die and help Kagita win his navy. Kagita didn't really receive too much air support. Pushed about this far, as far as he is now. But it looks like Kagita not willing to give up quite yet. He still has a couple of pretty juicy units on his side. In terms of eco, he's at 1.3k. He's got 133,000 power. His base is fairly well protected. He is reclaiming like crazy.
Strategic launch detected.
And will that be nuked? This anti-nuke has no hope. And yeah, there's an anti-nuke right there. Right there. So is this going to be another wasted nuke? Yep. So close. Oh man, another nuke coming in. And that one actually might also get killed by that same anti-nuke. Yeah, you could see a lot of paused units, not enough power to support all that. So 135,000 power is not necessarily enough. So theoretically, let's say this is finished and it's not it doesn't get killed by a nuke, which actually just might happen now. Yeah, this is a hero error. This is Scathis is all sideways. All right, well. Kagita getting raped here in air a little bit. He is making a very nice push against Puerto Rico. Zoc had those Strat bombers which he used to kill Gala, but they haven't really done much else. We're seeing multiple satellites from Puerto Rico moving in. They're going to be targeting the Maver. The Maver will be finished. The question is, what will it shoot? And the question, another question is, what can Kagita see? He can see that there's a T4 nuke, so that's probably the primary target. Yeah, he's got some scouts right there. There are some ACUs in here if you wanted to target those. And I don't know what other targets there could possibly be. Perhaps anti-nukes, ACUs, or T4 nukes of the enemy. So we're going to see Maver. Maybe. You gotta put up some more shields if you're Kagita. Yeah, 200 damage per second from each one of those. Very annoying. And Zoc, how much reclaim does Zoc have? He's at 31, 320,000 reclaim. Oh, there is a nuke. First T4 nuke has been loaded. And I think, yeah, this Maverick
Strategic launch detected.
is not going to live. These guys abandoning ship here. There's an anti-nuke that's not loaded, anti-nuke that's not loaded. This one, the hero, is not loaded either. Whole bunch of not loaded anti-nukes. This one, not loaded. I think that could be the end. Will the Maverick fire off a couple shots, some wild shots that might hit somebody? The Maverick shell does 12,000 damage per shot, so for example, this ACU, 2 shots from a Maverick would die. This ACU would need a couple more. I don't know, Zoc is, yeah, not gonna die. He's got the double shield. There's one. Is there gonna be another? No. Yeah. Maverick get any kills yet? Ouch. Alright, well, there goes that. And I wonder what, yeah, somebody from this game needs to explain to me what they're talking about abusing strats. Did somebody go off map or some other nonsense like that? Because I definitely missed it. This scat is 208 kills. And I think this game is going to deserve 2 separate videos. I just don't want to upload huge amounts in one shot. The question is, where will I want to separate? A Maverick from Zoc. Kagita still has massive income if he wants to do something. It appears that he still has some plans. But yeah, that sucks. These satellites have been a big pain in the ass. This right here is the unit of the game. See, for whatever reason, you can see actually 3 anti-nukes here, 1 anti-nuke here, an anti-nuke there, an anti-nuke there. That means it'll actually take a little while for the T4 nuke to end the game. Tiep and Pechorico still taking their time killing off this massive navy from Kagita, so that fight continues. Pechorico sitting on 340,000 and the unit cap. Tiep 300,000. I have to compare these total reclaim numbers to the total mass produced to see what fraction that is. Satellites all over that Maverick. But that's a lot of build capacity with all those T4, T3 support command. Some of them do have a resource allocation on them. And looking at the eco here, it's not a bad eco from Kagita. And I think there's still a lot of reclaim on the floor. 50,000 in the bank, over 500,000 reclaim. Kagita refuses to throw in the towel. What is the next assault? We're seeing a lot of strat bombers bombing with impunity. There is ASF from Kagita he might be able to use for something. Yeah, at least to kill those strats. But the total numbers are probably in favor of Postal. Kagita, 100, basically 200 ASF. Postal 320. So this should be a easy win. There is still so much reclaim in the water, and yeah, there isn't too much anti-air, as these strats will continue to bomb. Oh, interesting here. This is going to be some good anti-air from Kagita, anticipating assaults from that direction. And he does have massive Tech 3AA everywhere, so he's definitely one of Galactic Fear's. So he's gonna go get a beer. As his remaining ASF will get crushed. Strats. Is this the bug coming out from outside? That's probably how they killed Mava right there. They went from outside and killed. There is the way the game tries to prevent that is that if a strat goes off, goes outside and spends more than 4 seconds outside of the map, it loses its order like this one did. There's really no simple way to fix this. Maybe to make them bounce off the edge, but that would actually be kind of weird. Maybe somebody could use that. That would be kind of interesting. And apologies. What the hell happened? Was this a... So I missed a very key part of this game. How the heck did the T4 nuke die? Jeez. I thought this thing was over. I was ready to like leave. Why is that dead? The only thing I can think of is SCUs with teleport did that. Or an industrial accident of some sort. Massive piece of scouting. Maver is nearly done. Satellites continue to apply pressure, and yeah, looks like bad game in the end. So somebody needs to explain to me what were the bugs, if it's just going off map. But hopefully people enjoy this one. And of course I will not forget to look at the stats at the end. Let's look at standard. Mass in. So about 20% of total mass for Kagita was reclaim. That does seem to be the number for most people. The ones who are actively reclaim is about 20%. Lots of total kills, units. And in terms of energy wasted, let's check out Gala and Kurtalis. What is that? 60 million, and wasted 2 million, or basically 3 million. So 5% wasted. While this right here is 82 million, and yeah, a little more wasted for Kurtalis. Something more like 25%, but Gala only 5% power wasted. Nobody wasted mass except Kagita there at the end. Yep, hopefully people enjoy this one.